what can you do to make 1099s filing easier in January? I start this process usually the end of October or the beginning of November, where in the accounting software, I will review the vendor and contractor payments. What I do is I pull a vendor detail report, not the summary report, because I want to take a look at each transaction and see, if it's noted that it's like a credit card or a debit card or ACH, because sometimes, and I always pull it with the bank feed notes so I can see how the recipient received their money, because sometimes that excludes different lines. It's kind of a tedious process. And so that's why I get the bulk of it over at the beginning of quarter four. And then there's a lot less to review in January or the end of December. And then that's a good time to review who needs to get a 1099 and who do we not have a W-9 for? And then you can start the process of collecting W-9s either through your secure portal, or you can use a service to manage W-9s like Track 1099, Keeper. I know there's a ton of other W-9 tracking softwares out there. And the beauty is the people will fill out their information and it's less likely to be incorrect. You always want to take a look at the W-9s to make sure they're correctly filled out. I have a whole video that talks about how to correctly fill out a W-9. You're not verifying that the information they provide is correct, but you're verifying that, if they checked individual sole proprietor, that they filled out both lines 1 and 2. And if they're any other type of entity, most likely they only need to fill out line 1, because the line 1 has to match the tax return. And if it's a Schedule C, line 1 is your name. And the second line would be the name of your business. But if you're an S Corp or a partnership, line 1 is your business because that's who files the tax return. What to do if you have reporting errors? You want to reach, as soon as you get a 1099 and it's not correct, you want to reach out to the business that issued it incorrectly and ask them to correct the error. And sometimes if an error is caught early enough, the business can issue a corrected 1099 prior to sending the incorrect 1099 to the IRS. But if you do have to correct a 1099 that was already sent to the IRS, then it's the exact same form, only you mark the corrected box at the top. And that's all you have to do. And which seems really odd, especially for somebody like myself who's always, you've got previously reported and corrected information on all of the payroll returns, except for the 940. But to correct a 1099 that was already sent to the IRS, you click that corrected box at the top and just put the correct information on the return. Usually around October, the IRS sends out their CPA2100 or CPA2100As. And these are the notices that tell you that the taxpayer name and taxpayer identification number don't match the IRS records, or that it was not supplied, completely missing. And like I said before, on the W-9, you want to make sure that if they've marked just that they're a sole proprietor or a single member LLC, you will be needing both their personal name and their business name. What you need to do is you need to compare the payee records to the notice. If the notice and the records match and the W-9 appears to be filled out correct, send the appropriate B notice to the payee. And that's just A notice saying the B notice is a notice to the payee saying that you've received a letter from the IRS and you request that they fill out a new W-9. And if it's obvious that the TIN is incorrect, then you need to begin backup withholdings immediately. Or like if it's missing, anytime you don't have a W-9, you need to do backup withholdings, which is also a wonderful tool that you have in your toolbox that allows you to get a W-9 from a business owner who hasn't provided one to you, because they'll notice if they're missing 29 or 27% of their invoice. And what you should never do when you get a CP2100 is call or write to the IRS saying that you've corrected your records, because they don't care. And they don't have the manpower to deal with that.